this.
Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Giant Skeleton. Here's the deck that I'll be using. Let's go ahead and take a look at some replays here and then finish off with a live battle. So here we are, guys, with the first replay facing another level 8 here, and he's going to start out super aggressive with a baby dragon as well as a knight, and this guy has a level 3 baby dragon, and I don't know if I'm just unlucky because I'm also a level 8 here, and literally all of my epics in this account are still level 1. In fact, I have like 3 epics still to find on this account, and I'm facing other level 8s that have level 3 or level 4 epics, so that's pretty crazy. But my main strategy with this deck is to try and get as many pumps down as I can early on in the battle, and then during the double elixir period, that's when I start to put on the pressure with the Giant Skeleton pushes. But watch this, he's coming in with a super aggressive 10 elixir push. Gonna go ahead and use the Zap Spell as well as the Fire Spirits, only costing 4 elixir to counter that entire 10 elixir push. Now, after this battle here, as you probably noticed earlier on in the intro, I switched out the Fireball for the Fire Spirits. I really missed having a direct damage spell in my deck. There was a bunch of battles that ended up in a draw where my opponent had like 100 health or 200 health left in their tower, and I really missed having a direct damage spell to finish them off, especially when you're facing a higher level, like a level 9, and they finish with 100 health left on their tower, and the game goes to a draw, and you know if they were equal level to you, you would have won that battle, so that's kind of frustrating. But right here, like I said, just playing defensively, trying to defend everything he pushes at me, using those Fire Spirits there to take out those minions as well as the baby dragon. I have 2 pumps down here. Not really going to support that Valkyrie with anything, just gonna let her die. And right here, he's coming in once again with some Barbarians. Gonna go ahead and use the Musketeer here, as well as the Zap Spell to damage those Barbarians, with some Goblins as well, because I don't want them getting any damage onto my tower. Now right here, I do have a Musketeer going in there. Gonna go ahead and use the Fire Spirits to take out all those minions and help keep my Musketeer alive. And I'm not actually gonna go ahead and support the Musketeer with anything, because like I said, I want to focus on building up the elixir for the double elixir period. So now we are into the double elixir period. Gonna go ahead and start putting on the pressure here, dropping down my final elixir pump in the bottom right corner there. Then I'm gonna start setting up a push here in the left hand lane with the Valkyrie as well as the Giant Skeleton. Now the strategy with this deck, guys, is to set up a push with the Giant Skeleton with the Valkyrie in the front to help tank and take out any distraction units, and then use the Musketeer in the back to provide some ranged support. Now take a look at the health of my Giant Skeleton, guys. He had a sliver of health left, but he is a only level 1 Giant Skeleton. If that Giant Skeleton was level 2 or level 3, he would have definitely made it to the tower and done some good damage to that tower. So that was a prime example as to how the level difference on your card can make a difference in the battle. But right here, defending once again another push by him with that baby dragon as well as the knight, setting up a slow push with that Giant Skeleton way in the back there. Gonna go ahead and use that Zap Spell to damage the minions. Now things are looking pretty grim right here. My tower is all the way down to 1,000 health here. Both of his towers are still at full health here, guys. So like I said, things aren't looking too good, but we set up a really strong push here very shortly, putting on the pressure now that we are in overtime with the Giant Skeleton up front, the Goblins as well as the Fire Spirits. Now watch this, guys. This is one thing I love with the Giant Skeleton is you don't really have to worry about counter pushes, because that one Giant Skeleton bomb took out all of his defending troops. So I'm able to keep the pressure on, dropping down another Giant Skeleton here, guys, with the Musketeer in the back as well as some more Goblins. And like I said, because of all those pumps earlier on in the battle, just keeping the pressure on, the Giant Skeleton here finally making it to that tower, getting a couple hits off, and also tanking the tower damage so that one single Goblin by himself can do a couple hundred damage to that tower. Giant bomb explodes there, taking that tower all the way down to 600 health, and yet again I have another Giant Skeleton going in. And right here, like I said, I really wish I had a direct damage spell, but fortunately a couple of the Goblins did squeak through and get to that tower, giving me the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead to the next replay here. So here we are, guys, with the next replay, facing a level 9 here. And I make a pretty big mistake at the beginning of this battle. I wasn't paying attention. I was busy looking at my computer screen. He drops down an Elixir Collector in the back left corner there. And take a look at this. We don't notice it. We sit at full Elixir for a couple of seconds, wasting about 2 or 3 Elixir in the process. Finally, I look back at my iPad screen, notice that he actually played down a card, and so I dropped on the Giant Skeleton in the back and then dropped on the Crying Face because I didn't know how long I was sitting there at max Elixir. So like I said, pretty big mistake right there. But take a look at this. he's going to go all in on the right-hand side and actually ignore my push on the left-hand lane. I'm going to go ahead and use the fireball to damage that tower, take out the bomber as well as damage the wizard. And take a look at this, the Valkyrie tanking for my giant skeleton, making it to that tower, doing some pretty crazy damage. And then right here, going to go ahead and use that zap spell to take out the wizard before I can use my goblins to take out that giant. The goblins, guys, do pretty crazy single target damage. They're really great at taking out high health troops like giants and hog riders, but you have to take out the splash damage support first. So right here, just going to go ahead and ignore those minions, let them damage the tower as well as soak up that damage. And at this point in the battle, this is one of the reasons why I threw in the fireball instead of the fire spirits, because all I really have to do is defend for the next minute, 40 seconds, and just use my fireball to finish off that tower on the left hand side. Whereas if I had the fire spirits on my deck instead of the fireball, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would have to keep the pressure on and keep playing offensively. Now he's going to start setting up a pretty strong push once again on the right hand side. I am going to go ahead and use the fireball to damage that wizard as well as the pump on the tower. Even though the tower on the left hand side is weak, I don't want to overextend, spend too much elixir with a fireball on the left hand tower, and then get caught with a push on the right hand side. But right here, he's coming in with another strong push with that Sparky in the back. Now unfortunately, the goblins weren't able to kill that Sparky. The Sparky hits my musketeer, and the splash damage actually hits my tower, doing like 1500 damage or so in the process. Really crazy damage by that Sparky, guys. I definitely think the Sparky is a little bit overpowered, even though with the zap spell, it's fairly easy to reset the attack timer. If you're playing against somebody that's skilled with the Sparky, it's very hard to stop it, and it's very hard to have an efficient elixir trade against the Sparky, in my opinion. Now right here, we're going to go ahead and use the fireball once again, damage that pump, damage the wizard as well as the tower, because I want to be able to take out that wizard so I can use my goblins to damage the giant. Now the one reason I love the giant skeleton is he's great on defense as well, and that giant bomb can shut down some pretty strong pushes. So with 2 giant skeletons down, I'm feeling pretty confident that he's not going to place down the Sparky, because he doesn't want the Sparky dying to the giant bombs. So right here, going to go in with that fireball to damage that tower on the left hand side, and take a look at this, guys. Giant going on the right hand side. I have 2 musketeers down as well as a Valkyrie and a giant skeleton doing damage to that tower, bringing it all the way down to 500 health. So now I have 2 towers down, fairly low, musketeer going in there getting a couple hits off, and take a look at this. Both of his towers are in fireball range, and I really wish there was a way I can take out both towers at once, because I do need the 2 crowns for my crown chest, but unfortunately we just get the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead and do a live battle here, guys. So here we go, guys. Facing a level 8, not too bad. We don't have the pump in our starting hand, which is kind of unfortunate. Now, I will say this level 1 giant skeleton does die fairly quickly. By tournament standards, a level 1 epic is the same as level 6 commons. So facing level 9 and 10 commons with a level 1 epic is kind of hard. Now, is this guy using the Royal Giant Spear Goblin Hut deck? Let's go ahead and drop down the pump right here. Use the Valkyrie up front. Normally, I don't play this aggressively. I would have let that Valkyrie die. For that exact reason right there. One single Valkyrie by him counters my entire push right there. Hog Rider coming in right here. We're going to go ahead and use this with the Goblins to take that out. And overall, we didn't take too much damage from that push. So not too bad. Now, the great thing with using a Giant Skeleton is not a whole lot of people use it right now. So you can kind of catch your opponents off guard with it. Let's go ahead and use the Musketeer here, and then maybe drop down the Giant Skeleton up front by the bridge there. And I'm going to go ahead and place down another pump here, really get that elixir flowing for later on in the battle. Now, do I want to fireball this? I don't think so. I want to try and save my elixir. I'm not going to go ahead and drop that Valkyrie, because as you can see right there, he just dropped his, so that would have been a waste. Let's go ahead and zap all of this, because the Spirit Goblins won't die from the Valkyrie, because my Valkyrie has to get through his Valkyrie. And then right here, let's start... Does a fireball kill these archers? Giant Skeleton going down. There we go, and let's see what he does here. Can the Giant Skeleton make it to the tower? He might let me make it to the tower. There we go, guys. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. All you need to do is get the Giant Skeleton to the tower, and he does some crazy damage with that Giant Bomb. Boom, doing 1,000 damage almost, bringing it all the way down to 1,000 health. Now, if that Giant Skeleton was level 2 or 3, I would have done so much more damage with that Giant Bomb right there. Go ahead and take out this Hog Rider here. Hog Rider getting distracted by my pump. That's good, that's good. And let's start setting up another push here with the Valkyrie right here. Giant Skeleton up front. And let's use the Fireball here to take out the archers. Take out all of that, and then get these Spirit Goblins in the process. So Musketeer going down. Keep the pressure on here, guys. Come on, come on, come on. Unfortunately, they don't get through. Let's use the Valkyrie here with this and this. He uses the preemptive arrows, but I don't drop my Goblins this time. But take a look at how slow this Valkyrie is, allowing that Hog Rider to reach to the tower. That's really unfortunate. Let's go ahead and use the Giant Skeleton here with the Musketeer. And let's zap all of this. The Valkyrie on the left-hand side making it to the tower. Not going to get a whole lot done, though, in the process. Use the Goblins way up here so he doesn't arrow to them all at one time. He does zap, though. Level 6 Hog Rider just too strong from a cannon. Musketeer on the right-hand side doing damage. Let's go ahead and just play super defensively here, guys. Dropping down a Musketeer. Let's see here. I want to drop a Pump because I'm expecting that the Pump isn't strong right now for defense. But if I use the Giant Skeleton there, I would have definitely got crushed by a Hog Rider. So let's go ahead here. Use a Fireball right here. Musketeer going down here. Let's see if we can Fireball him out. We gotta cycle pretty fast here, though. Let's see. Drop a cannon right here. Get ready for the next Hog Rider that's probably incoming. Fireball all this on the right-hand side. Okay, 180 health. Let's zap it. Bring it down to 112. And unfortunately, I don't think I can cycle fast enough to get back to my Fireball. So we are going to have to hold up for a draw. Yeah, like I said, take a look at the health. 112 health left. Now, if my Giant Skeleton was a higher level, I probably would have got the victory there, because only 112 health left on that tower. So that one Giant Bomb explosion could have made the difference there. So kind of unfortunate that I have a level 1 Giant Skeleton. But I can still make it work fairly often, and it's a lot of fun sometimes just changing up the strategy and using the different cards in the game. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.